Captain had been invited to the St. Freya dorms by the girls to have a memorable Christmas Eve party. Bronya, Kiana, Fuhua, Mei, Teresa, Himeko, and Rita. This should have been one of the happiest days of Captain's life. All was going well until a power outage occurred, leaving the TV to be the only source of light.
什么？我看看，至合金装备布朗牙阁下，这是一封你无法拒绝的挑战书。
如果你还没有完全忘记，那就在冒险的终点再会吧。
点心屋的白兔怀揣着太刀，森林里的贤者靠物理传教，
茶会上的疯子看似在胡闹，柴郡猫的兴趣是扮演怪盗，时间缝隙里白魔女在狂笑，秘密都藏在红王后的城堡。
还真是可爱的挑战书。
The TV displayed a challenge to which Bronya chose to accept, causing drowsiness to overwhelm everyone. Captain is greeted by the cold wind of winter as Bronya wakes him up. They discover Bronya has been given the role of Mad Hatter and that they may be in some sort of RPG dimension. Before they set out on their adventure, Captain brings along the cleaver of Shamash, which was being used to keep their fire lit. At the starter village, they learn about the world's setting from a character named March Hare. They are in the land of Dirac, which is ruled by a tyrant, the Red Queen. One day, a white witch appeared without warning. She was a cataclysm wielding powers that bent reality itself. Unable to tolerate anyone that could threaten her power, the Red Queen used her royal heirloom, the Moment of Truth, to seal the White Witch in a time rift. However, before she could be sealed, the White Witch used her powers to turn Dirac into a land of endless snow. Now, the threat of the White Witch breaking the seal looms ever closer. After recruiting March Hare, the party sets off towards the Red Queen's castle. Along the way, Captain acquires the other divine keys. The multifunctional Oath of Judah, Jizo Mitama, and Star of Eden. At Prankster Woods, they recruit Fuhua the Sage. During the journey through the Mad Hatter's Tea Party maze, Fuhua teaches Captain a magic spell. Phoenix is the hottest thing there is. At the tea party, they forcefully recruit Teresa the Lazy Alice by trapping her inside of Judah. They meet Rita after infiltrating the Queen's garden, but after being surrounded by guards, Rita stays behind so they could escape. However, they are later surrounded again further down the road, resulting in their capture via sleeping gas. In Peak's dungeon, Captain and Bronya recruit Cheshire Kitty, Rogue Extraordinaire, and Shakespeare the narrator before reuniting with Fuhua and March Hare. Cheshire Kitty guides the party to Karo's theater where they would find and recruit Himeko, who had been given the role of Knight of Hearts. After running an errand for Tesla at Trefle's library, they finally made it to the Red Queen's castle. At the castle, it is revealed that the role of Red Queen had actually been given to Rita. Intent on continuing her roleplay, Captain, wielding the cleaver of Shamash, commences the battle against Rita. Due to Rita going easy on Captain, the battle went smoothly and they learned the information on her role card. The White Witch is escaping. Fight her shadows. Fix the seals in the domain of time. Not a moment later, a shadow of the witch steals the Moment of Truth from Rita and the crew is dropped into the domain of time. Cheshire, March Hare, and Shakespeare, who are left behind, have a conversation about the crew. When Captain wakes up, Rita tells him that the only people that can enter the domain are those who exists in this time. They initiate roll call and discover that Bronya is the only one missing. Having learned the White Witch is holding Bronya hostage to force them into her game, Captain states that he will leave no Valkyrie behind, not on his boat. Rita proposes to fix the seals of the 4 towers around the shrine to weaken the White Witch instead of relying on protagonist miracles. As such, they begin by starting with the Tower of Lucidity. At the heart of the tower, Captain learns that a divine key must be sacrificed to the seal for the seal to be repaired. For the Tower of Lucidity, it's the Jizo Mitama. Also at the tower, they find Mei, who had been given the role of a Christmas reindeer. They recruit Mei and proceed onwards to the Tower of Shattering. After repairing the seal with the Star of Eden, the crew has to battle the area boss, Padrino, who is a Fuhua lookalike. After being defeated by Fuhua, Padrino explodes, creating a huge crater, and the crew is forced to leave a tired Fuhua behind. Next is the Tower of Bias, which requires the cleaver of Shamash. The next boss is a parallel version of Himeko, but she gets arrested by another Himeko for planeswalking without a license, as well as violating multiple terms stipulated in the Act on Time Traveling. The final tower is the Tower of Truth. The crew discovers that Teresa is the guardian of this tower, and to proceed, Captain has to answer super serious, multiple-choice questions. If Captain chooses anyone other than Teresa, he is a liar and a dishonest person. Soon after meeting Teresa the Tower Guardian, Teresa from inside of Judah emerges and the two Teresas fight. Captain intervenes before our Teresa could initiate the final blow, befriending the downed Teresa, resulting in her losing the will to fight. Captain uses Judah to repair the final seal, and now, they can finally confront the White Witch. At the Shrine of Time, the crew discovers that Bronya and the White Witch were already locked in combat. Captain and crew join the fight, but they quickly find out that they're losing. To protect Bronya from getting impaled, Captain takes the hit. The ice lance had pierced through Captain's chest with the lethal tip being an inch away from Bronya's face. After Captain gives an emotional heartfelt speech, Bronya uses the moment of truth to wind back time, healing everyone in the process as well as reverting the White Witch into Kiana. It's time to finish the game. In the final room, they find Seele who had been waiting for her reunion with Bronya.
是你吗，希儿？是我。是你吗，希儿？是我。真的是你吗，希儿？是我，是我，终于又见面了，布朗尼亚姐姐。布朗尼亚知道，希尔还在，一直都在。从踏进这里，开始冒险的那一刻，这个世界的每个角落，都在让布朗尼亚逐渐回想起很久以前。布罗尼亚为希尔讲的睡前故事，你总会忍不住在中途加入各种奇奇怪怪的东西，到最后甚至连我自己都想不起最开始要说的究竟是个什么样的故事。爱丽丝、三月兔、柴郡猫、疯帽子、红王后、白魔女，希尔把只属于我们两个人的故事变成了真的。布罗尼亚姐姐喜欢吗？布罗尼亚很喜欢，真的很喜欢。但是这一次，希尔做过火了。这个世界并不是毫无危险，希尔不该把布罗尼亚的朋友们也卷进来。希尔就知道，布罗尼亚姐姐一定会这么说。希尔一直都在观察布罗尼亚姐姐，想知道姐姐过得快不快乐，想知道姐姐有没有交到新朋友，想知道这些朋友都是怎样的人。想知道更多关于姐姐的事情，希尔。所以，希尔决心试一试布朗尼亚姐姐所信赖的朋友们是不是真的值得信赖，试一试他们是否像姐姐爱着他们那样爱着姐姐。希尔，虽然不想承认，但是他们最终通过了我的考验。姐姐，即使希尔不在身边，现在也有人可以在困境中支持你继续走下去。那么，像过去一样，给这个故事写下一个结局吧。这道门的对面，就是对你们来说的真实与日常。布朗尼亚姐姐，是时候回到你该回去的地方了。希尔，不要，我们好不容易才又见面。那么，你要留下来吗？留下来，和希尔永远生活在这里。我……舰长，你这个人，为什么只有在这种时候才会这么敏锐呢？也许，希尔，再给我一点时间，下一次，布罗尼亚一定会让你和我在门的那一边再见面的。我知道，你一定会这么说的，布罗尼亚姐姐。 舰长，希儿很好奇，你究竟是谁？装傻可骗不了希儿。原本布朗尼亚姐姐应该作为主角爱丽丝出现在故事的开端，但却莫名被赋予了疯帽子的身份，而预定扮演疯帽子角色的学园长却成为了爱丽丝，在一开始就被困在了迷宫疯狂茶会。造成这种误差的原因，希尔思考了很久。唯一的疑点就是从一开始就和布朗尼亚姐姐一同行动的舰长，你并不在我的计划之中。舰长看似和许多人的命运交缠在一起，却又总保持着若即若离的微妙距离。既然如此，你为什么要站在他们身边，一直支持守护他们呢？能告诉希尔吗？你究竟是谁，又到底在追寻着什么？的确，就和布朗尼亚姐姐说的一样，你这个人为什么只有在这种时候才会这么敏锐呢？也许……不过已经不重要了，反正很快就会再见面的。